How do I know this? Joseph Patrick Murphy knows this. He knows what happened, and he saw this video. The reason why I love you is you're so pragmatic. None of what you saw in this and none of what happened yesterday got you excited at all, even though the media got all riled up that ICE is at it again, violating people's rights, sir. None of that. Yeah. None of that.
Well, it's par for the course, Marty. I mean, that's the nature of the game. We talk about it here, and it's gotten rough. It's been rougher. Not much rougher, but it has been rougher in my career. These are people who do not want to be taken in, and the government uses different methods to capture them, and that includes, in some cases, trickery. A lot of people don't like the way that feels, and I don't blame them. Ideally, the government shouldn't be engaging in trickery, but it's got a job to do. It's got a job to do, and it has to do it fast. This was voted for, again, by a very large majority of Americans. This wasn't just an electoral victory. This was a numeric victory. So, if you don't like it, that's fine. You're allowed. If you want to protest it, that's fine too. Get yourself in a. But I wouldn't get worked up that this is the end of the world. This is about the way immigration enforcement has historically worked.
You represent a couple of those folks I saw running around like ants at a picnic.
Well, we've talked to one or two of them. Yeah.
What happened? Yeah. What was that?
I'm not going to get into. I can't, Marty. I want to, but I can't do that right now.
What do you mean? ICE told me what it is. I mean, all of them are here illegally, and they shouldn't be here illegally, and they arrested them. Is that fair?
Well, yeah, and there was a little bit of effort to evade. There was people running around, like you said.
Yeah.
A lot of these people don't want to be taken. They like it here, and it's just amazing how much and how willing they are to fight just to stay here.
Yeah.
Many of the migrants now, they're different than other generations of migrants. Most recently, and in my experience, the people from the Cold War, the Soviet refugees, they wanted to be Americans. They certainly wanted to be out of where they were, and they wanted to be here instead of there. We're seeing a lot of people now who are really coming to engage in parallel play. They don't want to be Americans. They have no interest in it. They're good workers. I can't necessarily say, but that's the claim to fame here. You grab them, and even when I says, "What have you been doing here?" They working. Sometimes they'll come in here. They'll come in here and they want to get a green card. And did you marry a citizen, or is there an employer sponsoring you? I've been working. And I appreciate that, and they're great workers, and everybody notices that. But that I don't know how that got into the correct.
And
correct, because they're working legally.
You said something profound, actually, and very pragmatic. Some of these employers are in a lull. They're like, "Come on back, everything's cool," but it isn't, is it, sir?
It's not. It's actually getting worse right now. I think we were talking earlier about that bond hearing I had this morning.
Yeah.
This was a hard-fought battle just to get a square hearing on the bond.
Here, because I love this guy, and I've become friends actually with one of his employees. Lay this out for our listeners.
Kid walks into the United States at 17 years old, and that makes him a minor, obviously. There's special programs for the protection of minors that wander into the United States. They're particularly at risk for exploitation. They're in a foreign country. They are less likely to report crimes that are done to them. So the government created a program to protect them called Special Immigrant Juvenile Status. And somebody, I don't know who it was, but maybe a charitable organization years ago, got him classified as a special immigrant juvenile. Right. He's got an approved petition. Only a certain number of them can become green cards in any given year. It's an oversubscribed program, so there's a waiting period. Even though the petition's approved, they don't really have a status. Their status is waiting for their number to come up in the rotation so they can apply for a green card. So in addition to that, in order to protect these kids, they gave them something called deferred action. It's similar to DACA, and they should be immune from immigration arrest. Back in January, this kid, now 23.
By the way, very successful roofer, just had a baby, really cool family man, great guy. Go ahead. Name Luis.
Great name Luis. Great values, everything like that. And he really is. I really like this guy. They arrested him in spite of the deferred action and just going back to court and saying he doesn't have it anymore. Yeah. And that created a situation where he was placed into deportation proceedings. Now, this, in spite of the fact that he has waited all those years for his number to come up, and he's 45 days off of the number.
Wow.
We asked multiple times for continuances, delay. They refused to do that. Full strength forward. And now they went through and put a deportation order on this guy, which we've appealed. I asked for bond to get him out of there so he could be out of detention pending appeal. Denied. Now
Wow.
that was a bad denial. It was against the law. So I filed a lawsuit in federal court to order that. They didn't deny him bond. They wouldn't let him have a bond hearing.
Wow.
So I went to federal court and had them issue an order: give this man a bond hearing within 7 days or release him. Yesterday at day 5, I emailed the U.S. attorney that I was corresponding with. I said, "Did you guys? This is day 5. We're on a clock here." He says, "Oh yeah, it's tomorrow morning at 9."
Wow.
I had not received any notice. I came in a little early to see if there'd be something in my email or maybe somebody would call the office. Nothing came. Finally, I called the clerk of the immigration court out in Newark, New Jersey, and gave him the alien number. And he said, "Oh, yeah, you've got an 8:30 in front of Judge Wilson." Now, Wilson is the judge that initially denied the bond. Wilson did give him bond. She said, "I've looked at this. This is a good kid. It noted all the equities that you and I just talked about, the closeness in time, all these things." After running through all these hoops, the government just appealed the award of bond.
Oh.
So he doesn't get out.
Oh.
He doesn't get out. Yeah. It's different because, like, if you and I get arrested, you go to night court and they do the preliminary arraignment and set bail. But there isn't somebody there arguing against you getting it. The night court magistrate sets bail and you're out.
My man, why do they
difference
want him
is-
so bad? What are we doing here? What
It's
is
not
it?
him.
It's the
It's
process.
not him. It's that. Yep, it's the inversion of the process.
Yeah.
There are plenty of programs that have this problem where there's a limited number, there's a cap, a limited number of these visas, well, a limited number of these visas that can be approved in a year. And they're oversubscribed programs. They created a program for crime victims called U-Visa. These are people that were victims of serious crimes here in the United States. That are testifying. And a lot of people got the idea that the U visa is like a booby prize for getting hurt in the United States. That's not what it's about. It's so the prosecution can keep you here and catch whoever did this crime. So there's a requirement of cooperation. But the U visa program, I think there might be 10,000 a year in the entire United States. We could do 10,000 in Pennsylvania alone.
So this guy, this guy's he's screwed.
No, I don't think he's screwed. I think because the clock keeps ticking toward those 45 days. Now, he doesn't get 1 day for each day that goes by in like regular time because that date is changed every month. It can go in the other direction sometimes. But given the history of how that program moves, my suspicion is that his number will come up July, maybe August.
Could they deport him prior?
No, because we've appealed the deportation order, which means it's not final.
It's unbelievable.
Additionally, we're going to apply for a formal stay of deportation. The hardest part here, Marty, is going to be explaining to this young man that he's got to spend another couple months in there to get his green card.
And let's be honest, if this is 2 years ago, my man's out on the street, no one gives a damn.
If this was 6 months ago, he's out on the street.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's really... Immigration, starting in August, got a bunch of new cases that they really can beat the hell out of these immigrants. And that's to your point, because they can hold them in there and eventually a large portion of them give up. They put their hand up, they say, "Fine, I'll take the $1,000, get me out of this place," because they conclude very quickly that free in Latin America is more fun than in jail in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania.
Which was our conversation yesterday about Jose.
Right.
He said, "The hell with it. I'm going back to Nicaragua. The hell with it. Screw it."
Well, he wasn't in jail. He wasn't detained.
He wasn't.
I think Jose was more of a writing on the wall thing because although I didn't rep him, we had some minor contact with him.
I remember.
At some point he called here, didn't hire us, but I remember thinking that case was going to need some work. I didn't think it was baloney, but I think it was, I don't know if he drafted it himself or he hired some immigration helper or something like that.
Hey, before I let you go, I got to get back to the video yesterday, the ants at the picnic.
Yes.
Most of those guys have no driver's license. No one gives a damn 6 months ago. Now, they do.
Right.
And they're gone. They're screwed.
Well,
it's the game.
It's an easy way around.
It's the game.
It's an easy way around these people.
It's the game.
Yep.
Right? Joseph Patrick
Everybody
Murphy, my man. You're the best. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, Marty.
He is. He's the best there is. He's fantastic.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No,